Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Vivek. It's Melanie here from Architecture in the Age of AI. And I'd like you to tell me a little bit about what you do, where you are. I mean, your email address says MIT. So if that's the case, please let me know what you're doing at
Yeah.
MIT.
All right. Hi, I'm Vivek. I'm the co-founder of Smart Storey. It's a furniture-led company based out of India, primarily focusing on B2B. Right now, I'm here at MIT pursuing my MBA at Boston. Beautiful climate. And yeah, we are primarily expanding overseas, not just the US, but across the world, including Europe. The way AI is changing, and the reason I am at MIT is to be part of this revolution. How AI is changing the landscape of us, not just designers, but across the industry, from execution to to workflow management to make ourselves more efficient and on almost every end, every uh, part of the value chain. There is transition, there is revolution happening, and yeah, I'm excited to be part of this.
Okay. So you're going to be using it in production as well, Vivek, or in the administrative stuff behind production?
So immediately, where we've incorporated something we've had immediate incorporation is in our workflow tools, like you just said, on our backend, which is from quotations to making ourselves more efficient with respect to every other activity which is basically mainly administrative.
Hmm.
But in terms of design, we are getting there. So, for example, we're doing a hotel project, and what was happening earlier was that we used to have designers doing the renders. Even if the client was not confirmed or not even onboarded, we still had to do that.
Hmm.
Now, with sophisticated tools, and which are not even expensive, we have our same designer now is able to do, I think, 10x more designs thanks to these
Oh.
new tools.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And are you integrating that with any CAD CAM or anything like that, or
We're not. In
not
fact,
yet?
it does not require you to be, to have those skills. Like, yeah, we still have the designer to have the eye
Yeah.
to pick what's going wrong.
Yeah.
But you don't need those skills, and that's why I think we are just able to multiply or have our productivity grow 10x.
Like integrating it with CNC machinery and stuff. Are you implementing that at all?
Not yet, not
Not
yet,
yet. Okay.
not yet. But I think we'll get there. I
Yes.
We're testing some. I mean, we are open
Mm-hmm.
to these new tools,
Mm-hmm.
which are changing our workflow. But like I said, I think we're still hesitant to. Also, I think the operators using these CNC machines, they are still apprehensive about these onboarding these tools.
Mm. Out of fear, you think, or just lack of knowledge?
Uh, I think it's both.
Hmm.
It's also, again, I see this across the organization where, for example, our designer who we were like pushing to, not just her, in fact, almost everyone, every designer was initially hesitant that, no, I think it was more of their own psychological fear that they're going to lose their jobs. But yeah, I mean, we made them understand and we made them part of the process, where we said that no, we'll still need you. And I think it's the same with the operators now.
And does it, because you said they're doing 10x the amount of work that they could do before when they were doing
Yeah.
it, however they were doing it,
Hmm.
AutoCAD or whatever, is that including the time it took them to learn how to use AI to manipulate this? Or like, how did you calculate what their learning curve was? Or did you?
Honestly, we did not measure that. I wish we
Okay.
could. Um, we just it was. I mean, initially there was some friction, like I just said. But then when we bought the licenses, we onboarded them and we changed the workflow a bit. I think they were okay, and now they appreciate it more than ever.
I'm sure. Lots of architects, it's a little easier for them to quantify the amount of time it takes because there's billable hours, right? So they're constantly keeping records of where they spent their
Correct.
time and money and so on. So it's a little bit easier than what you're doing because
Correct.
let me know if I'm understanding this correctly. When you're doing the AI renderings right now, that's to win a project. So it's part of your marketing scheme or,
Exactly.
oh, okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
what
So
was
it's
happening
helping you for
initially?
marketing.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So for example, if I'm having a funnel of say about 10 projects, uh, I knew for a fact, in fact, it was intuitive where we were not doing all the projects because we did not have the bandwidth. We were not
Yes.
doing the designs. We were not submitting the quotations, which could have been like, for example, if you're talking to a client where we know that the chances are high, we would do everything that is needed from renders to all the views, the BOQ supported by every diagram, every possible picture. But however, a lot of other clients, we were not doing that, knowing that okay, the chances are going to be not so high. But now
Yeah.
with these tools, in fact, it's increasing our win ratio. We are able to get better results thanks to us incorporating these new AI tools.
That's good. So are you one of the first adopters in your area? In India, for
Um,
example? Are you one of the first ones?
I think we are. I mean, I think we are. I know a lot of them are using, but
Okay.
I think specifically to our industry, which is B2B and hospitality,
Yes.
uh, probably we are the first ones.
Oh, well, that's good.
I mean,
Um,
our CTO is like betting heavily, and he's been advocating AI tools a lot. So I think that really helps.
it helps if you have somebody in your back corner.
Correct. Yeah,
That's a good thing. So, is AI improving your customer interaction and their customer satisfaction, do you think?
it is. However, we are also, I think, so for example, the classic tool of Instagram. So not like we were using Instagram too often because we are B2B.
Yep.
But now we see, I mean, we just started. I think it was last month when we thought, okay, there was some new AI tool helping us, market across platforms, and we thought, okay, let's give it a shot. And all of a sudden, we see a very different response, which honestly, for a B2B, we did not expect.
A
Uh,
good
s-
response.
a
A good
really
response.
good response. Now, however, the
Fantastic.
bottleneck is that we are not able to respond as quickly as the number of inquiries are. Like I said, that we were not equipped. I mean, though there are AI tools, but I think it's also that uh, I think we're also getting a lot of junk inquiries. When I say
Mm,
junk, like spam,
mm.
not the ones that you would want, but yeah, I think some
It's a
might
little
convert, so
painful.
might be useful. Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be a little painful for everybody at the beginning till we
correct,
figure out what's what. So,
correct.
I've said this in other interviews, and I'm going to say this to you as well. My son, who's in university, wanted to be a software engineer and says AI is going to wipe out that industry, mom. So he's going to be an electrical engineer. But he's the one that's pushing me, and I don't mean that I'm not interested. He's pushing me to find out where AI will affect me in my business because I work with architects all the time. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
I'd said that to you that we talk to architects and drywallers and contractors. That's my job to call them and talk to them. And what I'm finding is that contractors in particular, which for you would be a material inventory as well, they're using
Correct.
it for inventory a lot.
Hmm.
So they're
Wow.
keeping a track of everything and being very, very efficient of what comes in and what goes out, what their cut sheets are, everything. And I thought
Wow.
that was very interesting because drywallers and contractors aren't usually that on top of it. It was quite impressive
Hmm.
with the way he's running it. He did say it
Hmm.
took him some time to figure it out,
Hmm.
and he did say that he adjusted what he found to suit him. So there wasn't a solution for him out there just in the general,
Hmm.
realm of things. And that it has increased his, like you, 10x the amount of quotes he can puts out. And
Wow.
now the problem is finding the people to actually do the work on job sites, which is a problem overall in Canada with trades. But he's finding that the winning the contracts is becoming easier, better proposals, great marketing tool. And one of the architects in Boston, actually, that I talked to, said to me that he uses AI to write all his post notes, on Instagram
Wow.
and stuff. And I thought, geez, I never thought to use it like that. But he
Yeah.
has it not because he posts every one of them, but he's using it in his SEO and his back office. so that
Mm,
when somebody's searching architect that does what he does is multifamily and large developments, his name is automatically coming to the top or close to the top of the search engines. And I went, geez, I would never have thought of that because I don't know anything about SEO. But he said that's what we find our biggest win is with AI. It's not doing the work, although it does help him with renderings and stuff like you.
correct.
But
But
it's interesting how he's using it at the back end that I never would have thought of.
I think, Mel, that's going to change as well. I was like here at MIT, they're now doing something, they're working on something called as agentic AI,
Hmm.
where, so all these days we were searching on Google, and that's where SEO, really played some role. But now people are searching not on Google, but they're
Yeah.
using ChatGPT or using Gemini or whatever that could be. So
Yep.
there, SEO does not help, but something else helps. So
Yep.
that is what we are trying to integrate now. That we know that this is the new future. We're
Yep.
trying to, change or optimize our websites and posts
Yep.
to cater to this new agentic world and not
Mm.
the SEO world.
But he's using it for both, which you never know.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's old
Correct,
poops
correct,
that
correct.
might want to use Google still. You never know. I use Claude AI a lot. I just love Claude AI. But anyway, yeah. I've got some questions written down, so I'm going to look down every once in a while. Do you foresee the need to hire new talent with expertise in AI implementation and arrangement? Or do you think that's a skill they can pick up fairly quickly?
Yeah, I think AI has the fact that AI is picking up so well is that you don't need to really build your skill set per se. However, I would not want to lose any of my teammates or colleagues because what they've developed
Okay.
over last decades is that the specialized skills needed for furniture, for example, what we are specializing in, requires not just, I mean, yeah, AI is great, but a chair will remain chair forever. A belt,
Hmm.
like these tools can come and go, but I don't think this will be ever replaced. We can be only efficient, and efficiency can be useful
Mm,
for someone who knows what he's doing or she's
exactly.
doing,
Right.
not for anyone, not for a layman, but for someone who knows what they're doing. It's a great tool.
And I said that to my son because when I started way back, you can see I have a drafting table behind me. We did
Mm-hmm.
everything with pencils and set squares, and then they
Mm-hmm.
forced us at one of my companies to start using AutoCAD and said it'll make you more efficient. Didn't really make you more efficient, but it had different tools that you could use to make three-dimensional things and stuff, and that was
Correct.
interesting. But it never got rid of the jobs. And no, so when I'm talking
Correct.
to architects and you say, well, AI is going to make your job easier, I don't think it's going to change. I mean, it's going to change how you do it. I don't think it's going to change it itself, if that makes sense.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
That I agree.
Okay.
I
Because, my
100%
son,
agree.
yeah, but 22-year-olds go, the world is changing, mom. Yeah, the world is changing, but they've said that every time a new innovation came out, and it will
Correct.
change, and people will have to learn how to shift how they use things to keep themselves relevant. I mean, if you didn't do what you're doing and I didn't do what I'm doing by keeping up with what's happening in the industry, we might as well go sit on a rock because the world's going to move on without us and we need
Correct.
to
Yeah,
keep up
that's true.
no matter your age. But it's worse as you get older, I think. So in 5 years,
Absolutely.
where do
Mm.
you think your company is going to be with AI?
Mm. I think the way
More
we've
staff?
started, sorry?
More staff? More staff? Less staff?
Yeah, I mean, in 5 years, we see ourselves growing. When I say growing, we want to be across the world. Right now, we are dominant in India. But the reason with adopting AI, in fact, we want to be a front runner in adopting AI as much as possible. We clearly see that yes, we need more people, we need more skills to ensure that we are across. In fact, we are. I mean, as we speak, just today, I set up our LLC here in the US, and that is what we want to do. We want to set up a team here, expand here, and I don't see a reason why we should not be having more people. But with, like you said, we would be ensuring that our if we get new talent, we'll be ensuring that either they're trained with the new tools that are there, or
Mm,
they have the attitude to
want to
change.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
want to learn. I said, I
Correct.
think I'm saying this to people because when I talk to some architects that are around my age, they're resistant to take on new technology.
Mm-hmm.
I learned AutoCAD, say, 20 something years ago. I'm very
Mm-hmm.
familiar with AutoCAD. I don't really want to learn Revit. I don't use it that
Mm.
often, so I'm not too interested. But for me, with AI, because I have 22-year-olds that are dragging me into the future kind of thing, they're encouraging me to keep up with this stuff. And I'm thinking, well, that's just good for your brain, no matter what
Correct.
age you are, to learn something new all the
Yeah.
time. And
Correct.
if you're like, there's a thing on Masterclass. I was
Mm-hmm.
brain burp there. Masterclass about how to use AI to get the right questions to ask your doctor. And I thought, well, that's good because you have like 10 minutes with your doctor. And he's like, is that it? Okay, hit the road. Next person, if you had really good questions that, you asked AI, this is what I'm feeling, whatever, and it gave you 3 questions that were really pointed and got you to where you're going, that's a good use of everybody's time. So
Correct.
I think that's the same thing in every profession. We're all going to wind up using it in some way, shape, or form. But Google didn't replace people. I don't think AI is going to replace people. It's going to change people.
Correct.
And that's the difference.
And I'll tell you one of the big observations that I've seen, Mel, is that
Mhm.
while we're using AI, right? Like for example, you will understand this from a very technical architectural point of view. Um, I know certain. So, for example, a height of the room is supposed to be a certain standard. A bed is supposed to have a certain standard. Like a queen bed is supposed to be a queen bed, and that's why there are these. That's
Standards.
it's a standard.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to give this tool to not to someone who's not a designer or who does not have the eye for design, and I tell him or her to use an AI tool and give me a render of a so-called hotel room,
Hmm.
a designer is going to pick this, that okay, this is not right. This room cannot accommodate a king bed or a twin bed. Now
Yeah.
that is where the the uh, the experience, the learning, that whatever we craft, the craft that we pick is going to
Yeah.
be useful, because AI creates a lot of shit, a lot of slop. Okay, it does create a good lot of good products, a lot of good output, but it also creates a lot of slop. And you want
Yep.
to ensure you do not send slop to your customers, because
Exactly.
once a customer is lost, is lost. There's no way
Oh,
that you can get a customer back.
no, no. And I
So
don't think people actually realize how important that building trust is at the beginning.
correct,
So
correct,
even if the rendering looked fantastic, like I get
correct,
renderings from architects and you would know this, cantilever something 8 feet away from a wall, but the wall
correct.
is drywall. And I'm going, okay, so are we putting guy wires? How are we holding this? And they're
Mm,
young and they don't know very much. And they'll say, well, if I can draw it, and I was told if I can draw it, you can build it. I said, but gravity plays a part here. Like we need to figure out, are we putting steel in that
correct,
wall? What are we doing? And then they're going,
correct.
well, how would you know that? I don't know, maybe 40 years of experience, And the only disadvantage I see with AI is until all of this information that's been floating around in my head gets downloaded somehow to AI, you need to have common sense to apply what AI is going to give you
Correct,
back.
correct. Yeah,
And I'm afraid to say that some people don't have a lot of common sense. And so
that's
you kind
true.
of have to go, what are you thinking? And then they go, well, you know what I intend. Okay, I know what you intend, but 2x4s are 2x4s. They're like, "But there's nothing I can do about that." So
Correct,
it's interesting. I just think that there's going to be some changes in the way that people um, apply themselves to their job, knowing that AI is going to either be following up with them or
hmm,
kind of overseeing what they're doing to some extent, because management will want to know what you're doing on AI. They're not just going to let you go higgly piggly, run off and do whatever you want. Um, but I also think that there needs to be some, I don't want to say restrictions, that's not the right word, but maybe parameters that AI uh, is for you in your particular situation. So you wouldn't want to have nobody in the plant, nobody with any creative ideas, and AI coming up with everything because it has hallucinations and it's going to do wacky things. And you really do need that person with common sense who's going to go, well, that's not going to work.
correct.
queen size bed isn't going to work, or the base I've designed isn't going to hold the weight that we're required to have in a, whatever
Correct. I agree.
hotel room and stuff. Hmm?
I agree.
Okay. So, do you think there are any risks in using AI in your business?
Um, I think there are. So I think the way I would put this is that we've had certain, like I said, like we've had certain um, really bad BOQs submitted. So, for example, there was a tool I'm not able to recollect which one was that. I think it was mainly to help us auto generate BOQs.
Mhm.
So all we did was we gave in our all the previously submitted BOQs, and it was helping us um, like because every BOQ that comes in, we spend some time and we figure out, okay,
Adjusting. Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
this was a tool where which was supposed to make our job easy, and it we did try, and it was working fine. And we then gave it to our team, who was just ensuring that uh, we were not overseeing everything because like we thought, okay, the tool's going to do its job.
Yeah.
And there were, I think, 3 or 4 occasions where the quotation that was submitted to a customer said, okay, let's go. And then when we looked at it, we were like, oh my
Oops.
God, damn, what did we do? I mean, and that backfired. And then, like I just said, like going back to a customer and then saying that, okay, I'm sorry. And it just doesn't work.
No.
And for B2B, especially, losing a
Mhm.
client is, yeah, I mean, it's really tough. Which is where I think some sort of guardrails, some sort of like flags are needed, checkpoints are needed.
Mm.
Critical areas, we are overseeing everything that, okay, this is okay. Not so critical areas, we're still okay to let go. So that is
Okay.
how we are strategizing this.
Okay. So I know that some people are using. So let's say you were doing a queen size bed for a hotel, for example,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
your manual takeoff or your BIM would tell you needed whatever lengths of materials you need and how many pieces you need and springs, whatever you need. And if that was inputted into your AI base, hopefully it would not make that mistake. However, and I said this to people at my office today, somebody cut and paste something in AutoCAD from one part of a drawing to another. And I had an architect call me and say, what do you mean on this detail? And I went, oh, that's wrong. Now, everybody makes mistakes, including AI. I'm not expecting anyone or anything to be perfect. But a second set of eyes, like if AI could look at that and go, that detail doesn't make sense. You wouldn't put this on a wall.
Yeah,
You'd put that on a ceiling would be fantastic. Not to blame
correct,
anybody because I am not perfect and I will
correct.
make mistakes and continue to make mistakes. Hopefully, not the same mistake, but everybody's going to make a mistake. So I would suggest that AI unregulated, unmonitored would do the same thing. Even as smart as it gets, it's still going to have some little hiccup because we all do, and
Correct.
it will as well. So we just talked about having that technical failure and recovering because I have to go back to clients and say to them, I'm sorry, there was a mistake. And I get the throwing up and the hands in the air. And what do you mean?
Correct.
I went, took your price and did whatever. And I hear it and I get it because I've been on their side as well. However, telling them that AI made the mistake and not you is going to
Yeah,
get old really quick. They're going to
correct.
say, well, wait a minute, you're the expert. Why am I paying you if you're
Correct.
having AI do everything? So that I can kind of see as a little bit of a problem because
Yeah,
when a
it's a
human makes a mistake and you say it to somebody, I forgot to carry the one or whatever the
correct.
mistake was, they're a little more forgiving than if you said, well, the calculator did. They go, well, you pressed the numbers, didn't you? So
Correct.
it's going to be a learning experience for everybody on both sides, I think,
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
to make
double-edged
sure
sword for
everybody
sure.
understands it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry?
I'm saying it's a double-edged sword.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. So for me, I think that a smaller firm will get more and more competitive. I'm not sure it's going to change much on a big
I agree
company.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, because big companies, there's that, you know, get it going kind of thing. It's hard to change
Correct.
anything in a really big company, but the smaller ones are going to get more and more competitive. I think personally.
I agree. I agree. I mean, all our big clients, like they have these traditional softwares that they've bought for like multi-year deals. Like their
Yeah.
licenses
Yeah.
probably are covered for like 5 years, and now
Mm,
having them buy these licenses might be tricky. So we see that like all our big clients like the Marriotts or the Hiltons or the Olives, uh, they're still like using it here and there, but not to the full extent like how we are. We are able to use it for almost every, like we are a relatively smaller company. So we're able to use it for like almost everything, but we are
Mhm.
being careful. We are being watchful on really what adds value rather
Yeah.
than just like subscribing or buying almost every tool that is there in the market.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you could do that all the time,
Yeah.
and you'd run out of money long before you ran out of all the
Correct.
obligations
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are out
I
there.
mean, it has to add value.
Exactly. It has to add value
Yeah.
either in the way it makes your job more efficient or
Correct.
your staff more efficient,
Correct.
or honestly, I think less staff at some point if it's taking on some things that you don't need someone for. Like I was reading an article on AI, and they think that lawyers will become obsolete. And I thought, oh, my children's father is a lawyer, and I thought, well, he's pretty smart. He's really good when he's talking to somebody, as a client. Are
Mm-hmm.
you saying that his job will disappear? And I go, well, if everything, all the case studies and everything are published, which they are, why wouldn't AI be able to answer all those questions and set all those precedents? And I went, oh boy, didn't think of that. Didn't think of that. For us being creative, though, I think it's less of a threat. So
Yeah.
accountants,
I
I think, might be a little threatened because it's math.
Correct.
It's not that
Correct.
hard. But something, and I don't mean that's not hard. My mom was an accountant, so I know how hard she worked. So that's not what I meant. I just meant it's very
Correct.
linear and it can follow a path. Whereas what we do is very creative in architecture, and what you're doing with your clients, it's creative. So I don't know that AI has the bandwidth to be creative. It's linear.
Correct.
It's a very
Correct.
linear process. So, I mean, nobody in the architecture design world is linear. I met a whole bunch of
Correct.
us, and we're all a
No,
little bit nutty.
I fully agree with you. Like, and I think maybe going back to your son, maybe he's right, where software is the most logical piece of work among everything that we've discussed. Account, accounting, or software, like I just said, is
Yeah,
logical.
yeah,
However, the work that we are in, I mean, yeah, furniture is same, but furniture requires some thinking. Furniture requires some boldness.
yes,
Every season there is a different color palette. There is
yeah,
some inspiration that you draw from something,
yeah.
and that cannot be
The
that
same
cannot
old,
be AI
same old.
generated. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
So I think the gray work is going to stay, where you really think and it's your brain that's churning the ideas and everything. I think that's going to stay. Like I said, he's going to be an engineer. He was spoken to by one of the professors at his university who's a geothermal engineer. And he says there's real resistance. I'm trying to get him on the podcast. Real resistance in their industry because the calculations would take days and days to calculate. And now it's doing it in hours or less.
Correct.
So
Correct.
he's talking about water tables because I live in Toronto, so we have the lake.
Mm,
And you in Boston would know this, the sea is rising.
yeah.
And so they're doing all these calculations for buildings, for job sites, all this sort of stuff.
Mm,
And before it would take like 2 weeks to do all the calculations. And now he said to them in their class, it takes less than 2 hours to do the full
correct.
calculation sheet. And I went, whoa, Noah, that's amazing and scary at
Mm,
the same time.
correct.
So if your professor is telling you that, what are they telling you in your business class at MIT? That there's got to be lots of stuff they're talking about that is going to be AI more focused than
Yeah.
your actual business.
Correct. I mean, so honestly, I don't know if you know this gentleman called Brian Harrigan. He's the CEO of HubSpot.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, and I mean, I'm doing a class with him. He's teaching us, and he was telling to all of us that like HubSpot is facing an existential crisis. Uh, I mean, it's a startup. It is supposed to be one of the biggest CRM companies out there, and they're saying they're facing challenges because of the way AI is picking up. So
Really?
it is real.
Hmm.
We're going to see a future where all of us, you and I, we are going to have agents on our agent for writing a mail, an agent for setting up a calendar, an agent for me speaking. Right now, this is in person, but
Yes.
apparently there's going to be a world which is going to be all agents. So I don't know. I mean, it's a scary world, but it seems like it is. not very
So,
distant.
so I have heard of AI SDRs or development
Mhm.
representative, and I've seen their emails. And I've actually talked to one online that talked to me like a human. The only difference between me talking to you and talking to him, it was a him voice anyway, is the delay in the interpretation of what I was asking. Very short,
Ah,
but it
correct.
wasn't like you would go or respond, just silence while it's churning. So it actually responds faster if you write something down. So it'll send you an email and ask you to write, or send you a text and ask you to write your question. And then it's instantaneous. And I'm thinking to myself, holy smokes, for what I do, I would take like a month to research where these projects are, who the architect is, who the contractor is going to be, who the drywallers are going to be, who everybody. So I had a full list of all the people I could possibly contact about this project. And this thing came back to me in minutes, Vivek, minutes.
Wow.
And I went,
Yeah.
holy smokes, this is amazing. How are they going to make money on that? Which is what I said to the person who introduced me to it. It's called Bordy, by the way, and Bordy AI. And it's fascinating how fast it is, and a little bit frightening at the same time, because I know what the process is to get sales.
Correct.
It's hard, it's long, it's a lot of interaction to build trust first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is relationship based. And to have something take that relationship out of the queue is going to take some adjusting for everybody to learn how to
Correct.
do that. So
I agree.
it's interesting, but it's a little weird.
Correct.
The AI market, I'm just going to give you these specs, is
Mel,
$4.8 billion.
Mel,
dollars.
yeah, yeah.
I'll give you the spec and then we can wrap up. The spec for AI right now is in 2025 was $4.86 billion of income, and projected to be 22.6 billion by 2032. So not that far before it's going to more than 5x the
Hmm.
use and income coming from it. So I think we all have to figure out how to use it, because it's coming at fast speed. So project management as well. Are you using a project management thing, or
Uh, I mean, we've had like a ton of softwares, but I think what's also happening is the existing ERPs that we use, they are giving us these additional features. I think that's also because they want us to,
use
uh,
them more?
correct, and they don't want us to leave, or it's. I
Mm,
think it's a retention technique where
yep,
they have to adopt. Otherwise, we'll be more or less using other tools, and then they
yep,
want to bundle as many features as possible in their
yep.
existing. Uh,
Yep.
yeah,
Well, it's going to be an interesting
yeah.
um, philosophy. Let me see what other questions I have here. You didn't track your implementation costs in time. You have, though, in costs of the programs, though, have you not? Has it been inordinately expensive for you?
Uh, Actually, yeah. I mean, we just so in India, the financial year runs from March 31st to March 31st, which is basically how the British system works as well.
Yep. Yep.
Like we were just doing our like audit and running our checks, and we realized that we didn't know that we were spending so much on AI.
Oh,
For like we had signed up for so many, like $20 and $50 here there, and realized, oh my god, we're spending so much, and some of them were not even useful anymore. Like we took some for presentation, we took some for this, we took some for that, and we realized, oh my god, there are like some 24 subscriptions in total which we don't need. And yeah, so yeah, we
well, you do
started.
have to test a little bit, Vivek. I mean, you have to test
Yeah,
them to
we
see
do.
if they work
Yeah,
for
but
you.
then the way I think they're smartly placed, that they're not so expensive when you look at it
Mm,
monthly.
mm.
And
It's
then,
constant.
yeah, correct. And then when you need it, then you're like, okay, let me use it. And then
Yeah,
after a few months, you just forget about it, but you're still being billed.
still paying.
Yeah.
It's a good
So,
marketing model if
yeah,
you know.
correct, correct, correct,
It's not good for us, but it's really good for them. So I'm trying to
correct.
think if there's anything else that I wanted to ask you. We've talked about everything that I had questions for. But what about your data security? Are you worried about that AI will take over anything that you might want to keep proprietary?
No, I think we're fine. I mean, there are some drawings that we generally like, for example, the client drawings, if there are any. So we generally keep them safe. We still don't use AI for any of that.
Okay. Would
I mean,
you?
they're all on. Sorry.
Would you use it if you thought it was of value?
Um, I don't know. I mean, there's also like NDAs that needs to be signed with our clients, which I think is a tougher process and a longer process.
Yeah.
So we would say no, we don't want to do that. Clients are more important than anything else.
Mm.
So we would stay away.
I have to sign NDAs as well when
Correct.
I'm looking at drawings before the
Yeah.
project has been
Correct.
sort of announced.
Commissioned. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, yeah,
being
yeah.
worked on, but it's still proprietary. That I have
Correct.
to sign that NDA, and I wait to see it posted on LinkedIn or something before I can talk about it with anybody.
Yeah.
And they say, "You're really good at this." Well, I've signed a few of them. I don't want to get sued. So
Correct.
I
Yeah.
would
Makes
just rather
sense.
not say anything until it's out there. When it's out there, then
Correct.
fine.
Correct. The
So,
same goes with the drawings. Like we can't be like using any of the client drawings or any of the client contracts up there, like with any AI tools, because their data security becomes a concern. Like, what if this is being referenced for some other client or
uh,
some, I don't know, like, I don't know what happens with our files. So we generally stay away from all of that.
that's a good idea. We were actually talking about in the family getting an
Mm-hmm.
external drive as opposed to going to a cloud.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they're not expensive. And my son said, "Aren't you paying for cloud storage every month?" And I said, "Yeah, I do, because I just have a CPU and a laptop, so I don't have
Correct.
room to store it." And he said, "Mom, I think we should get an external server that's
Mm,
only for storage, and you just you retrieve what you want and then put it back there, because it's very inexpensive, relatively speaking." So
correct.
he's the IT person in the house. I said, "All right, you find out how much it's going to cost and
Correct.
let's get it organized so that everybody can back up their stuff right in the house and not have to worry
Correct.
about any data security things coming up later."
Correct. Makes
Because every
sense.
day it seems like somebody's been hacked about something, which freaks me
Yeah.
out.
Correct.
So, anyhow, is there anything you want to say about your particular business that the listeners may want to know?
Um, well, yeah, I mean, we're opening our shops in the US to start with. I'd love to do some business in Canada as well.
Hmm.
Uh, we are probably the experts in furniture, and for the US and Canadian region, we're doing B2C. We're doing
Okay.
solid wood furniture. We are crafting. We're making this in India completely, and then selling it here using Wayfair, using a lot of other channels.
Okay.
So yeah, excited to set our shops here.
Well, that's good. And it will save on shipping, I'm assuming, because you'll be local or more local.
Yeah, but we'll still have to like our manufacturing base is still in India.
Okay. So you're having
S-
warehousing here. Is that what you mean?
yeah, correct,
Okay.
correct.
Okay. That's all right. It'll work too.
Yeah,
My
hopefully.
company is in Canada.
Hmm.
Obviously, I'm here. It's just outside Toronto, and we ship all across North America. So, why I'm asking that is because we want to develop manufacturing in the United States as well. So, it means that there's a lot of legwork to do before you decide what market, what the costs are to do, and things in that market, and so on and so forth. So, when you're talking about what your company does, let me ask you a question. You said you do Hiltons and
Correct.
and
Marriott.
Marriott's,
Yeah.
and
Uh, there's this fastest emerging company in India called Olive.
okay,
Yeah.
it's another hotel chain.
Yeah.
Okay. So I stay in Hilton's or Marriott's quite a bit when I travel. Um, so you're going for a certain style. They have a certain style.
Correct.
Sort of timeless, not traditional,
Correct.
not truly modern, sort of somewhere in the middle.
Correct.
Okay. And are you trying to go after some of the larger, bigger, more luxury ones as well?
So to be honest, for the US market, we're not looking
Mhm.
at B2B. This is the clientele I have in India. Like the Marriotts and the Hiltons are expanding their footprint in India.
Yeah.
From like every year they're adding to close to about 100 and 150 properties, which is huge.
Yeah.
And so we are right there. We're helping them expand with our capability that we have, which is completely modular. But in the US, we want to start with B2C. learn the market, adopt the market. When I say B2C, like online, direct customers, anyone who's doing like architects, anyone who's doing a great house, we would like to get them like whatever you imagine, will ensure will give you that.
Okay.
So from, it can be like 18th century, 19th century, rustic, raw finish, the paint, the polish, all those details will be, uh,
Available.
yeah, correct.
Okay. So what is the website our listeners can go and see your product on?
It's called smartstory.com, though we are not selling anything online yet. It is just an informative site. But eventually we will be on Wayfair to start with.
Okay.
I don't think we will be selling directly. I mean, I think it's a great idea. Maybe we should consider our own website eventually. Yeah,
You
I think
never
that makes
know.
sense. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
you never
sense.
know.
Correct.
Because I mean, Wayfair is like the Amazon of
Correct.
furniture, and
Correct.
I've bought 2 pieces from them, been very happy with the 2 pieces I got, but I don't like what everybody else likes. I'm an interior
Correct.
designer, so I kind of look and go, "Do I really want something I could go into my neighbor's house and see too?"
Correct.
So
I
something a
agree.
little bit more different, would be
Correct.
you would blow them out of the water. You really
I
would.
mean, so that is what we specialize in. Like it is your job to be creative. It is our job to make it. I understand design and will ensure that you just give us a vision and will ensure that exact every small detail will be captured in our product.
That's cool.
Thank
And
you.
that site's not available yet for anybody to look
That's
at.
not available yet. No.
Okay. Well, when
We've
it
been
is,
B2B for a long time. And the reason I've been to MIT here is to, explore and understand and start this market here.
yeah, that's a good idea. So
Yeah.
when you are ready to go and launch your site, get a hold of me and I'll post it for you. How's that?
Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so
very
much.
welcome because everybody asks me. I haven't been an interior designer for about 10 years now. I was a healthcare and corporate designer for more years than I'd like to admit. And then I went into sales. But I still get asked all the time, have you seen anything new? What's out there? Because I have to keep all my accreditations up. So I'm following all the
Correct.
same stuff they are,
Mm,
but they focus on what they're working on at the moment where I don't need to be focused on one area. I can look at all kinds of things. So
correct.
for sure, send
Thank you
me
so
what you
much.
got when you have it, and
Thank
then
you.
we will go from there. But in the meantime, it's been great talking to you. And I know you have another
Likewise, Mel.
appointment. So I will say goodbye for now and wish you all the best. And
Thank
then
you,
we
Mel.
can
You
pick
too.
this up later if you have more you want to
Yes.
say.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Take care.
Bye bye.